example, right? During the Swiss stage, one of the most winningest hero is that Eve, and now Eve keeps on getting banned out. But now the Pharsa, man. The Pharsa almost doesn't matter who gets the hand on the Pharsa. Even if the Pharsa loses, it's kind of not the reason why you lost.
Let me rewind about 2 steps back. I wouldn't panic and just say don't use Shen anymore. Looking at game 1, watching that 10-minute game, I'd say just play tighter. Respect what your opponent brings to the table. And again, make better decisions. Kimmy, utility, which direction are we going? And even the side lanes, consider that. I think Liquid can be a little more respectful of Aurora going into game 2. And then maybe, just maybe, if they lose that, that's when maybe you really decide to go 180.
Well, here's the thing, right? I'm thinking in the sense of tempo, timing, and item power spikes. Shen alongside with the Kimmy, we're expecting Kimmy to actually take the advantage with the Genius one, something along the lines of Feather, which is a little more unpopular, but it's an aggressive option in the lane. When we look at our top 5 heroes pick, it's Shen, Shen in 4th, 2nd is Claude, 1st is Pharsa, 3rd is Cho, and 5th is Sora. And when you look at the win rates, as we go up, you notice that the win rates take a little bit of a dip once we get to the Pharsa.
I mean, again, this is why I brought up where, yes, I know that the win rate isn't the highest, but again, if you're looking at the games, the Pharsa really is not the reason, right? Whatever the Pharsa's job is, control the mid, make sure that you give pressure to the side lane, do a massive amount of damage, Pharsa can do that, and I feel like as we mature towards the knockout stage, now teams are getting more comfortable and be like, we know how to draft around this Pharsa.
That's what I'm saying. You can let the Pharsa through, maybe less of the Eve, and then play from what ends up in the draft. So recalling the bans from game 1, Fanny, Grok, Eve for Team Liquid, nothing wrong with that. Aurora, Zushin, Hylos, Baksha, that might be the very specific move that Liquid have to think of. They know that they respect the Zushin. They know that they want to attack JP. They kind of attacked him too in the second phase by banning the Hilda. And they know that Kha'Zix is very good on the utility. So, thinking about that, where is the Lancelot? Where's the Hayabusa? Hayabusa took a dip after the knockout stage. That might be the tempo breaker.
Hayabusa is really interesting, right? Because again, if you want to create leads with Hayabusa, it's either the team has to kind of funnel it into you by setting up the perfect angle for the quad shadows, or you make plays in the side lanes opposite. You know, divide and conquer like we saw in game number 1 from Aurora, Turkey, where they're sending in Pagu alongside with Rosa in 2 separate directions. And I think, unfortunately, with the way that the meta is turning out, with side laners being such a big importance alongside with the mid trio to control invasions, to put that brass tacks in the river, Hayabusa just doesn't cut it anymore.
Yeah, right now we're going to be looking at the pick our pass here. So if you're a Valentina, whose ultimate do you steal? Feather S-Strike or the Tsunami Slam?
On 3, ready? Whole name. 1, 2, 3,
Feather S-Strike. Yeah, there you go. I feel like, honestly, it really depends. Like, every single time you use a Valentina, right? If your opponent is a Valentina and, say, a Hayabusa or a, what you call it, Lance, something like that, and the Pharsa is being dealt with, say, a Lapo, a Yuzon. It's like, okay, that's not that big of a deal. I want to catch this assassin. But I feel like the most general trend, Feather Strike's pretty cool, so I might as well just take that.
Yeah. 9 out of 10 times it's going to be the Feather Strike.
Oh, and I feel like you can only really take the Tsunami Slam, like it feels good, if you're playing an EXP Valentina, because then at least you're tanky, yeah?
That too as well. It really depends on what position the Valentina is going to be in at the end of the day. But coming back into this game, I think we're going to start moving away from this Valentina once we deal with the big questions. Because so far, I think Oheb on Sora, not the worst, but I think I would like him to play more of the damage-dealing style rather than the hard engages, because Sanford really knows how to take the initiative and absorb that pressure in comparison to Oheb, especially when Kalia is available, they just lock him down.
Going into the draft, I'd like for Team Liquid to reconsider staying blue. Even if they did lose in blue, again, a lot of the problems are repaired by choices you can still make from that position. So we're going into expanding rivers
again,
and this is how we begin. Yep.
Yeah. So
by taking out that Kalia.
Yeah, so Rivers again, Team Liquid is still on the first pick, Aurora is still on the second, and yeah, this time they're not banning out the Eve. The Eve is left open. It looks like they do prefer to get that Sora first. So now, Aurora, Turkey, this is the real question. Do you still prefer that Pharsa now that the Eve is still open? It looks like the answer is yes.
Yeah. this is the... Well, I mean, they don't have access to Kalia anymore, so I still think it's going to be Leomore here for the side of Aurora first, and then we'll see the next two coming up from TL. Are they going to switch out the Yi Shin and Yuzong, or are they just going to double down and say, now that Kalia's gone, we've solved all the problems? Hilda, alongside with the Yves. All right, staple picks.
Yeah, so right now, we can already see a change here, especially because if you have Carl Tlph in your lineup, I think it's perfectly fine to wait on his pick just a little bit because, again, there's a lot of assassins, and if necessary, he could use a utility. But now, Aurora, the last pick before was that Uranus. Now seeing the Eve as well as the Hilda, do they go with the same plan, or now do they adjust?
It's not as worth it. There was a Yusin shit to bother last game, confirmed in the Bluetooth 3. That's why this Uranus was so good for Lunar. And I think that's right. You go for the flexible side laner, gold laner, XP laner.
And honestly, still good against the Eve, right? They want to make sure that the mid is won. So this is probably the game plan coming in from Aurora Turkey, where they want to make sure that the mid is well controlled. What do you think about this, Gideon?
I think that now that they've shown the EXP laner, as much as I want to agree with you about that mid lane, I think that's where Coach RC is going to attack in the second phase, right? And then now this Sora becomes a more flexible option now that we do see the EXP Esmeralda from the side of Aurora, meaning this could be a potential Claude. I don't know if Aurora Turkey is going to ban out the Claude or whether or not they're just going to keep on with the Fredrin and getting rid of the rest of the junglers.
Yeah, right now, banning out the Fredrin here. If they really want to force Carl on an assassin, which, let's face it, he probably wants to go on the assassins as well, it's clever that Team Liquid, they are banning the Cho, they already have the Hilda. What other picks that they really want to respect here? And it's quite interesting that they ban out the Alice while the Lapu is still there, unless they want to quickly get the Lapu and just put Esme in goal, but I don't know if you want to show your hand that fast.
Ooh, yeah, I think they would have to, if they do want to hold it, Game 3 would make a lot more sense, but it really depends on the result here. This final ban from the side of TL is probably going to take away somebody who can use Concussive Blast. I would assume that Gatot would probably be in this particular position here if I were to guess.
Gotta be another roamer.
It's gotta be another roamer, right?
Because Aurora will pick the last good roamer and then hide where the Esmeralda goes deep into red 5.
Well, just a few seconds. It looks like they're banning the Claude instead. Probably considering they don't mind whatever roamer that is left for Pago here.
Just not the Claude.
But to be fair, there are quite a lot of roamers already banned. You got the Grok, the Kalia, the Cho, the Hylos out of the picture. So yeah, there's not a lot of options. There's still the Gatot, there's still the Khalid. I'm not so sure if there's anything spicier. I think they've used the Minotaur before, but this does not look like a draft that Minotaur wants to go up against.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Especially since Minotaur's healing only gets relevant after you're able to get the flask. But prior to that, you're just kind of waiting. And even so, Gatot seems to be like the safest option for Aurora Turkey. And that way they can hold on, like Leo mentioned, hold up on the flexibility of this Esme.
Well, right now they do have to go for a pick here. The timer's down. And
Whoa!
Lucas. Pretty sure this is a debut, and
Yep, it's been months since we last saw Lucas.
This is creative. I don't know if it's just too creative.
So Lucas beats Sora in lane up until level 4. And even at level 4, there's still outplayability for both sides. It's a very volatile matchup. It's depending on which form Sora ends up going in. If he goes into iframes and is able to dodge the Biju Beast bomb, assuming that he's going for the Naruto skin, then I think that he can win this matchup. If it's against the Esme, it's a little less impressive, but even so, you just know that Aurora not only want to win lanes, but create opportunities for Pharsa as well as Leomore to clean up shop.
By the way, gentlemen, quick stat check here for our casters as well. Pharsa going up against Eve, it has been 5 games, and 4 out of that 5 games have been won by Eve. So as of right now, the Eve definitely has a bigger advantage. So now that the draft is set still here for a while, let's try to theory craft. Why have they pick up that Lucas? Like, what's the reason?
Because CC's open. So you kind of want the quick throwback. Lucas is good against CC and Hilda, and they already locked in the Hilda, right? Gideon also mentioned how Lucas is good against the Sora, especially when the Sora overcommits to a certain style, right? So by doing this, Aurora has all of the incentive in the world to be creative and introduce a new side lane hero that could shake it up. So what if I think it's good. I think they deserve to pick this.
By the way, something I want to bring up in the post game before is that I really want to praise the positioning of Rosa, because I feel like Aurora Turkey, they're able to get away with the draft that kind of has no appeal for their mid laner, because Rosa's positioning all throughout this competition has been phenomenal. Despite being a Farsa going up against a Yuzong and whatnot, really has not been touched all that much. And I feel like that's a big buff for the team where you're not having to babysit your mid laner.
Oh, no, absolutely. But I think Brigidio put it best, right? It's about timing. It's about the timing of when you see these feathered airstrikes. Because even if I was in Sanford's position, chasing down Pagu on this Kalia initially and seeing him use the Tsunami Slam, I would already assume where exactly is that Farsa? We last saw Rosa mid, and that was ages ago. I would still commit to the fight. The feathered airstrike just covers a lot of distance, making sure that angles can be cut off even when it's like basically outside of the boundaries of your screen.
Oh.
Claude ban, Alice ban. Does that mean that they go? No, if they go Uranus, they get the counter matchup.
Yeah.
They go for the Yuzong?
Yeah, that might be better because Liquid is short on AoE crowd control. That's what the Alice would have brought in.
Yeah, so very interesting here. We will be verifying some stuff when it comes to the draft. We will see whether this Lucas is, I would say, legal or not. You know, some things happen on stage, but we're going to be discussing this without the Lucas for now. By the way, this is a good time to shout out to our marshals doing an incredible job making sure that all 10 players and the coaches on a stage is being treated fairly and make sure that everything is up to par. So now let's just forget about the Lucas for a while. TL, Leo, you've seen them draft before. The Sora is kind of new, but when they have a Hilda as well as a Eve, what kind of draft do they really want to go for? Do you want to go for a full dive, or it's just kind of like a 4-1 where one person, being Carl Teasy, just focus on the farm?
No, this is aggressive, and we don't even know where the Sora's going.
True.
We don't know if it's an XP Sora on Sanford or, you know, a go again with Oheb from game 1. So, assuming that this goes well, and looking at what Aurora has currently, Farsa, Leomord, Esmeralda, waiting on that red 4 pick. I think Liquid just wants to be aggressive. Liquid wants to pick up the pace and show everyone that, hey, game 1, that was an anomaly.
Wait, actually, yeah, now that I look at it, if this Lucas was changed to, say, Roamer, and then last pick, they could have gone for Valentina, because at that point you can see where the Sora is at. So that's why we wonder, okay, maybe something's happening, you know?
Unconfirmed, but that sounds crazier than what we assumed prior.
Hey, man.
That is just good against, whatever's left out there.
We gotta take first impressions, right? And
I
honestly,
feel like when they have the Farsa, and you're like, I feel like Valentina, only Sunset Lover makes it look good in mid, but on the side, honestly, looks not bad.
I don't think it's that bad either. But at the same time, I'm very thankful that we have our marshals up on that stage, making sure that everything's done based up to protocol. You're probably wondering why it's taking so long, because there's a lot of things that need to be done. You got to verify with the opposing team, verify with your
matches,
team, elimination match, double check with the rest of the backend to make sure that what is being said is true. So many steps must be taken to ensure that it is competitively integral.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of Rome Lucas though. That would be
Rome
the worst
Lucas
thing. Yeah, no, not at all. That would be the worst thing for Aurora right now. The hero's just not built for that.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad that we're not seeing a lot of assassin roams, like the
Hellcurts, Natalias.
Helkers, Natalia, Sabers.
Oh.
Because as fun as it is in ranked games, what is it, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks after the change of the roam, and then like Gideon, we have a friend that uses Kadito Roam, and that was probably the easiest ranked session we've ever done, where we basically do nothing, and the guy still gets more farm, more levels than us just by staying in the bush and then killing people.
Oh yeah, that and
what was it?
There's one more, Selena Roam.
Yeah. I can. You know what? No. I just want either you're the toughest boy in school, or you just have a lot of crowd control.
I don't want none of that flamboyant.
Healing is also kind of okay, but
I mean, healing.
Miss Popole Koopa Roam.
Hilda, I'm okay because of Minotaur.
Fair, fine. I can get behind that at the very least. But having CC is so important. But opening up the map, I think right now what we're missing from the game, and this is me just kind of going on to the M7 podcast mode here.
Yeah,
we need wards. We need ways to open up maps more consistently and something that is interactable, right? And I think wards would be a really good idea for supports.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that will soon be an activatable for, say, a roam item. Because before this, they did try it out with a spell, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it's weird. People still prefer Flicker, which, yeah.
Facts. And you know what would be even better?
What would be even better?
It should be a blessing instead. So it's like you get wards, but you don't get a conceal.
But the thing is, how will the ward be designed? Because before this, they have a spell where basically the wards, they look out for targets, or did you just want to use like Selena? Okay, we're just gonna put something here, something here, something here.
I'm thinking more like Selena, and it's like you need to hit it like 3, maybe 4. Yeah, 4. Well, not charges, but 3 to 4 times before like it breaks. You know, you have to physically punch it.
Or
like Chip's Portal.
Yeah.
That was something that I was thinking of, because right now I'm actually do wonder what other mechanics can be introduced, because an upcoming hero is just a guy that freezes things. Yeah. Which honestly looks cool as hell, where you just trap one guy and everyone just shoots all their ults in that direction and be like, you know you're gonna die, just accept it.
Or how about this? Instead of having a map rotation, you have interactable things to fight over in the map, which changes the structure of that sector of the map.
Wait, what?
So let's say
like different turtles?
Well, maybe not different turtles. More so, hey, you're fighting over a little neutral objective. Fine. But if you pick up a particular rune and you want to go to one side of the map, hey, let's break open the walls here. Let's use it on this one.
Speaking of, the draft continues. Looks like the Lucas is locked in. And now TL, they fire back with a Valentina themselves, which means even the Valentina can turn into a beast. And they pick up the Yi Sun Shin. So now Aurora, now that they lock in this Lucas, first of all, where?
Yeah.
All EXP roam?
No, gold or EXP. That's it. They just switch with Esmeralda. And they go roam Badang. I like this, but Liquid are playing a weird game of catch the Lucas. Where are they going to send that Valentina?
Yeah, I guess they might have to lane swap if they open up badly, if they get the guesses wrong. But I think importantly, this Badang is really good for 2 reasons. One, it's not only a great setter, but he has inbuilt anti-CC when you go for his ult. And I think, considering that Pagu was able to use the Tsunami Slam to get away from Sanford earlier, I think he's got more tech in the bag.
Gentlemen, looks like Lunar will be piloting the Lucas, going up against Sanford on that Valentina. Already sensing one lane matchup has been lost. This is going to be a very interesting one, especially after the domination from Aurora. For now, we're going to be throwing it to our casters and see how they feel about this Lucas pickup.
I am very feel about the Lucas pickup right now. Now, okay, welcome to the Line of Dawn, folks, for game number 2. That's definitely going to be a good question to ask for the host later on. Doesn't matter who wins, right? That's a question to throw out. What do you think about the Lucas? What do you think, Brigitte?
Initially, I would have felt that this could be an opportunity for Liquid to focus a bit more on Rosa and the potential shutdown. But given that there are so many fighters in this lineup, I feel like even with losing Rosa, they wouldn't be as hesitant to just keep on fighting. And we saw that happen already in game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, we did. The panel before was saying they weren't completely against it. So whatever ended up happening, I mean, it doesn't feel like it's a bad pick completely. Yeah. Aurora Gaming, whatever their intention was, they need to definitely pull it together here. It's lower bracket, it's elimination. I still think they can play an aggressive game like what they brought last time. It just maybe needs to be approached differently.
Yeah, especially considering that if you do go all out or all in this lineup of Aurora Gaming, then you have a very high chance of making Team Liquid very uncomfortable, especially in terms of positioning. And we've seen Eves struggle when people just keep diving onto the Eve, especially when they use the real-world manipulation.
Yeah, interesting. It's a concussive blast Lucas, by the way, so he's really just looking for tempo on the map as he clears up the wave. Tienzi with a good gank up top. I honestly thought it was going to be the Brave Smite, you know, especially because he's up against Sanford on the Valentina. Good take on the XP crap there, but also Pagu, pull yourself together. A very aggressive
Option on JP, though, gets the pushback, forces out the flicker. Now, this is about the same time last time. It took a couple minutes, but Aurora Gaming waited for about that 2-minute mark, and that's when they really started to make plays on the map. But look at the bot lane OHEB right now.
Yeah, we saw how important OHEB Oheb and his participation in the first few fights actually is they need a bit more damage output, so his help would be greatly appreciated here. Pagu is also very low, so I guess this is a objective that'll go straight over to Team Liquid.
There you go. It's a free turtle to Team Liquid. And Aurora Gaming really, now, I don't know, I don't want to assume here, but the Lucas ain't Lucasing right now, and in the 1v1.
I mean, it's literally Naruto versus Naruto right now. Lunar up against Sanford, and Sanford gets a Terrify. One more shot. Luckily, Lunar gets away, but watch for it.
Sanford.
Gonna go. Oh! He misses. Lunar, don't do it. Just chill.
Great reaction, though. Lunar knew it was coming as well. He flickered out the safety. Carl doesn't get the gank. It's not Naruto, Trex. It's Naruto Sage mode versus Naruto. Like,
oh, my bad.
Actually, it's
KMS Naruto versus Sage mode Naruto, but who's KMS?
Valentina is just better. I am you, but better right now, right? Whenever you get the ultimates, even the Sora versus Valentina matchup is like that.
So it's just such a huge anime fight that we are going to see constantly in the XP lane if we get to focus a bit more.
Oh, wow! 3-man RWM Rosa immediately taking out Oheb. With the clouds under the tower a little too long. TNZ actually able to get that kill, making it a decent trade. Rosa for Oheb, gold lane for mid.
Yeah, and look at Sigiboom, instant. Well, you don't get too much because you're an Esmeralda. But still, there's move the map, and yeah, that really shouldn't have been an okay trade for Aurora Gaming.
Oheb could have went out.
A lot of damage on a TNZ. The thing about the Hilda at level 4. Nice for that airstrike though, followed up by the fallen Star Moon. JP might not be able to get away from this one. Pagu. Oh, the Fist Crack, and Sigiboom picks up the kill. Aurora Gaming trying to get back into this.
Tough. I guess even if he decided to go straight towards the nearest bush, the fact that he's being chased by an Esmeralda wouldn't really help. So there was no other way but to just get as far as possible as you can from Sigiboom and the chase. He kind of used his flicker in that previous fight though, so maybe Team Liquid could turn that into an advantage.
So let's talk about a little bit of what the panel were expecting coming into this matchup. Heat versus the Farsa, 4-1. Hold on, Oheb's going to be ganked.
Oheb taking a lot of damage. Brought down Oheb once again, just able to get away. Sigiboom doesn't have the flicker to chase.
Happy Feet gets away. Actually, not really, you know? He didn't really sidestep. He just used all the dashes in the kit, which you have plenty of. But back to the topic. Heave just has constant damage to pressure you. And the RWM!
Damage on a Rosa. Rosa forced to use the flicker. Will be okay. Turtle goes into the hands of Team Liquid.
That immobilizes you. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. They're not going to go for the chase anymore, but that's already going to make such a huge difference for Liquid here. 2 consecutive objectives that went over to their hands. Kenzie? Oh, he still gets Barbiel though, but with that IMU unleash the beast,
Sanford.
He's going to take them 1v2.
Damage on a Sanford. Sanford able to bring out the blast on the Lunar. TNZ up against Sanford. Sanford bullying back 2 members on his own, and Pagu taken out off cam.
JP!
JP looking for more. TNZ brought low. Carl TZ trying to lock on. JP in a bad spot. Carl TZ gets the Mountain Shocker. Lunar still will be able to get away though.
He's always
Sanford
alive.
for Sanford.
Okay.
Oheb under the tower with the shifting clouds. In comes TNZ. Feathered airstrike drops down from Rosa. Just trying to create space at this point. Sigiboom with the falling Star Moon onto Oheb.
Okay, now Sigiboom is trying to turn away. Gets caught in the real world manipulation though. Fortunately, still has what it takes to survive. But yeah. Honestly, the way that Liquid are playing this lineup so far has been really, really well. They've been coming in from the most unexpected angles. Now it's Sanford once again on the Unleash the Beast.
Ooh, onto the next target, but he's able to get back safely under the tower. But down goes Rosa. Sanford with the pickup.
All right. Now they're trying their best to deny all the resources. This is not what Aurora has been through in the previous game. Another Unleash the Beast.
They're going for it all in. Sanford picks up the kill. And it's Lunar down and return to tier 1.
A lot of damage on a Pagu. We are back on the map. Sanford taking too much damage. TNZ picks it up. It's once again a bloodbath. A blow for blow as TNZ comes out on the steed, trying to create space. There's still one more turtle coming up soon.
Yeah, but they get the purple because of that, and potentially even the next turtle. So this is a lead that is slowly growing in the hands of Team Liquid, and I guess that was something that they afford to lose. Sanford, who can just really be the guy to force those fights under turrets.
Yeah, perfect turtle, by the way, as well here. You can actually see that Team Liquid, with the pressure that they have early on in the matchup, like the panel said, a confirmed win. for Sanford versus Lunar. Oh, Phantom Steed from Tianzi. You know, he was really trigger happy with the Phantom Steed in game 1, but that was when they were ahead. Now that they are behind, I'm not too big of a fan of this, and Carl goes into the Mountain Shocker. They want to gank Pagu.
Pagu gets caught by the Mountain Shocker, taken out. Another kill for Tlph.
Yep.
Rose with the stun on to JP, but here comes Sanji into the mid side. Aurora Gaming on the defense majorly right now. Sanford able to dash in, brings out the beast. Oh, drops the bomb onto Rosa. TL continue to dominate through this game.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was an opportunity for them and they missed playing these kinds of heroes, or Sanford missed playing the Lucas, but every single time, even if he sees 2 or 3 members, he's not afraid to go at them and bite a lot of Time Lord space for Liquid. Now they're on to TNC.
Oh, Sanji able to catch Tianzi. Tianzi might not be able to get a break. Oheb forced to use the winter crown. Lunar's waiting for him to come back. Lunar picks up the kill, feathered airstrike from Rosa, but Sanford gets the Clarify onto Rosa. Tlph into the backside. JP jumps in as well, gets caught with a first crack. Pushing Aurora back under the base, back under the tier 1 at that when there's still a tier 2 standing.
Yeah, so we're back to Team Liquid again, just holding their grounds. Yes, a few pickoffs here and there. Oheb hasn't had the best game so far. A random pickoff there in the mid lane, and then in the bottom lane getting caught. 0-2-0, but it doesn't really matter, right? Because the top side of the map is winning so hard. And yeah, it looks like Sanford's like, okay, every time I go and see 2 people, I go in, but there's no punish.
Yep.
Ultimately, for this Valentina, who is better Naruto. I mean, JP's a better Leomord right now.
Okay.
He trying to push
Look at him!
back. Paku
So he's gonna be okay.
does have the fist crack here, but he's deciding not to use what you think is a good play up on the top side, though. For that airstrike comes down as Lunar gets caught off by Sanford. Tlph. A big bomb onto 3 members. JP now locking onto Pagu. As Lunar looks for Tlph in the back end. Can he chase him down? Oh, looking for the last hit, but no, Tlph catches him in a 1v1. You thought you had him. And now they're going to move on to the Lord.
And I guess that what shows you that it's fine that Oheb's been through this much. Even despite being on a 0-2, at least your main damage is okay. Tlph is very much farmed up. And by this time, now that we're reaching the mid-game, Oheb, he can just transition to being the guy to look for the additional setups, to be the guy to disrupt the formations of Aurora Gaming and start fights. Not that Sanford hasn't been doing it for the past few games, but with Oheb, it'll be a lot more impactful for Team Liquid.
Absolutely. It really just feels like Team Liquid have the better versions of Aurora Gaming's picks everywhere on the map. Sanji, oh, he gets away. They want all in.
Second, Sanji, they don't want to let him get away. Tianzi looking for the pushback. Out comes the RWM with 2 members caught in, but Tianzi finally finds Sanji. And now Tianzi continues to unleash chaos onto the members, but Pagu's on his own. Tlph showed up to save the day as Oheb jumps under the tower. Rosa, one more tower shot, but it's not enough. A nice falling Star Moon lands on a JP, but Aurora Gaming are just trying to create space.
I am starting to get nervous whenever I see Oheb dive a turret. But fortunately, he got out of that. Now this is an opportunity for Team Liquid. We are still looking at the Holy Shields available for Aurora Gaming. But with this much pressure at a 7k gold lead, they'll definitely take out some of that.
And again, for Liquid, it's Sanford stealing away the ultimate, and now he's going to go rampage with a Lord charge in.
Bird unleashes the beast once again, decides not to dive in, but in comes Oheb with a shifting cloud, does lock on to Siggy Boom, pushes him back, it's an all-in. Oheb falls, Tianzi able to get the kill as Sanford continues to unleash chaos onto Lunar. Lunar back onto the base, Siggy Boom caught off. And Team Liquid only lose 1. RWM onto Rosa, airstrike stolen, Tlph gets the kill.
Oh, that was a panic from Rosa. Pops into feather airstrike right as you're caught by the RWM, and now they have just 1 base turret.
Tianzi help defend. Mountain Shocker does not land. Sanford to the backside, able to get the Terrify onto Tianzi. Dashes in. Maybe caught into a bad spot. They're trying to stun him. 1 more tower shot. Sanford is almost still standing.
3 base turrets, Team Liquid. They're pushing in. They're stomping through. They want to get revenge from game number 1. But I can't help but feel now it really looks like that pick, the Lucas, was a mistake. After, you know, the whole pause, waiting for it, and now seeing it just getting completely curb stomped. Look at the gaps between everyone. Again, Team Liquid just have the better versions of every pick of Aurora Gaming, right? It's the Valentina versus the Lucas.
Yeah.
It's Yi Sun-Shin versus Leomord, in this case, with a Hilda, with a dangerous grass lane.
Okay. Speaking of.
Tlph should be able to get away from this. Rosa's trying to pincer him.
Oh
my God, Tlph! He goes down, but he takes Rosa with him, and in comes Lunar. Sanji, JP, along with Sanford, want to lock on to Pagu here. Pagu's going to bite the bullet as Aurora Gaming lose 2 for Tlph.
And that's actually so value for Aurora Gaming, actually, right? Like Rose is 0-4 earlier, Pagu is 0-3, now they're 0-5-0-4, so no bounty at all for a 7-0 Tlph, and they delay the game a bit more because I don't think Liquid can actually blitz the Lord. Yeah, unless Sanford like goes into V1, wins it again, then sure.
Yep. Not for now. They will buy a bit more time, but they can still afford to be the guys just pressuring Aurora and not allowing them to get out too much. They want to fight!
In the Thunder mode, gets a lot of damage on a Siggy Boom, comes in, more damage on a Tansin. Steed comes out, that airstrike drops down. Sanford in the back line, just pushing Aurora Gaming away. We didn't have Tlph, but they didn't need him at the time.
Yeah.
Tlph is like an errand boy right now. It's like, go get Lord. Well, we got this game already.
Yeah, look at where he is right now while Liquid are marching with a minion wave down bottom, just making sure Aurora don't get any close. And that's the Lord immediately over to their side, but they might actually try to go for something. Hopefully just not something similar to the last siege, because those are, I think, 2 consecutive mistakes that Aurora were able to capitalize on, which brought us to this point of the game.
Yeah. They still have a Lord in mid, they have the waves coming down as well, so they can just play it slow right now, but they're actually constantly shoving in, so mid lane will be getting into the base quicker than the side lane. So again, Aurora Gaming actually still have a chance to defend this.
No feathered airstrike just yet for Rosa. As Lord comes in, TNZ brings out the Steed, tries to get the push back onto JP. Down to the boss side, Siggy Boom gets caught. Onto Tlph, trying to get him. Siggy Boom, Lunar there as well. The bomb misses, and now Sanford's in the midst. Lord onto the base. Oheb up against 4. Sanji, Sanford want to try to close the gap.
A really good job from Aurora Gaming at trying to focus on Carl!
Nice fist crack, but Sanford able to flick back along with Sanji. They're going to look for the re-engage. Tlph shows up as well. The Phantom Steed comes out and Sanford continues to shoot. Oheb down.
Carl gonna be caught with feather airstrike. Rosa!
Tlph taken out. Sanford as well. Aurora Gaming trying to turn this game around. It's JP and Sanji are the last ones standing.
Team Liquid! Where is the discipline? They shoved in constantly. We were already talking about it. Aurora had a chance because Team Liquid didn't want to clear the waves in a way where it'll crash together. They cleared everything at once. Mid lane came in, Aurora cleared it out, yet Team Liquid still wanted to fight. And what's going on with Oheb, man? The first 3 deaths should have been a warning.
You gotta respect, you gotta be mindful. There's just so much ways for Aurora to go for the counter engage. We haven't seen the full potential of the Badang just yet from Pagu. That was just a single fist break that caught members of Team Liquid and forced them to finally run away. We're gonna take a quick look at the instant replay there. That definitely was a bit too extended of a Lord Siege attempt that we saw from Liquid. And this is the fist break, fist crack combo that we were talking about. Forcing out multiple flickers, yet Liquid still wanted to fight. But the most questionable of all was Oheb still standing under that despite taking the turret shots. And Tlph, this is the point where you have to respect the damage from Rosa.
You do, right? Like, he was 0-5. For the most part of this game, it was kind of like an irrelevant farsa, but once we get to a certain point, he's gonna start to hurt, and I think this is the point right now. Gee, he's level against Sanji. He was so behind the entire game. I'm telling you, that shutdown on Carl, that was big for the team because they were able to buy more time for Rosa to get to this point. For Siggy Boom as well. Holy Crystal! Starlium side. This is more of a damage dealing Esmeralda than a tank.
Yeah. Tlph might want to be a bit more careful in terms of where he decides to show himself. Siggy Boom will definitely go for the chase. Or maybe that's also why Liquid are deciding to try and take down Siggy Boom first, because they know he's not fully tank. So they have a bit more capabilities to burst him down if they wanted to. But the way that the game's showing us, it's not exactly that. Siggy Boom, despite this build, is actually a bit more of a problem for Liquid. JP though, wow. That's damage.
Yeah, luckily no flicker used by Rosa. That would have been real bad. But you can already see, again, Hilda's kind of broken, you know? You can't just walk up like that. You need Pagu to help you, or you need to just form, but they're sneaking it!
A lot of damage though onto Oheb. Shifty Cloudsy is able to get away. Lord goes over to Carl TZ, but Oheb brought low with the fist crack. TNZ able to find it. They jump onto Sanji. Sanji has to disengage. Carl TZ has to disengage with Lunars on the backside. The bomb misses, but a few more shots. Can he get the kill? Sanji finally falls. Siggy Boom on top for Carl TZ. Aurora Gaming don't want to give up.
The magic damage as Marola Sanford!
He takes out Lunar. But Sanford, it's now a 2v2. Pagu, TNZ up against JP and Sanford. Where is Siggy Boom right now? He's got to get involved into this. The falling Star Moon is not there, but he's able to lock onto Sanford here. JP and Sanford have to back off as Aurora Gaming go back to defend the base.
They're doing so much to hold down this game. But speaking of holding down members, they have no ways to stop Siggy Boom, Pagu, and Tienzi when they decide to go for the chase. Sanford, he has a job. He is the guy expected to zone out the other members. But when Aurora Gaming decides to commit on Carl, on Sanji, who is going to be there to protect them?
That's a good question. Team Liquid Philippines might be the final boss of M7, but in Game 2 of Team Liquid versus Aurora Gaming, Siggy Boom's the final boss, bro. You gotta get past him. And how do you do it? Carl TZ and Sanji, one falling Star Moon got them to half HP, dude. And now he has to win a crown. Let's take a look at the replay again to see exactly what happened. So again, it's Oheb trying to buy some time, but they already got the Lord here, but then they got caught by the flanking Pagu, and then look at the damage. Look, half HP straight.
Yep.
From the falling Star Moon.
Yeah, and the flickers from Lunar. Fortunately, the Shockwave Blasts don't land just yet, but look at that. Even this flicker falling Star Moon, last minute.
Hold on. Oh, this is the replay still.
Yeah,
this is
calm down. I know there's a lot of action.
I understand, I can feel it.
We're getting overloaded with plays right now. Luckily, they actually didn't fight during the live view and then the replay, because that will be even more confusing. But hey, maybe, you know what, maybe we're wrong. Maybe Naruto isn't that bad.
He always shows up.
Was that Talk No Jutsu?
That was Talk No Jutsu.
Was that Date Bayo?
Talk No Jutsu with
Do you believe it?
With the,
I heard something.
Maybe they did, yes, you're right. So they failed to Talk No Jutsu, and now it's Believe It.
Now it's Believe It.
Believe it.
Better believe it.
Oh, man. So, Oheb, right? Like, what does he have to do next? What's the adaptation now? Because it really feels like he's just been off of his game completely.
To be fair, I think this is the point where you rely on the Sora more for the setups. Although, if he hasn't been as successful in those setups, especially in catching Rosa, because I feel like Rosa is going to be the main target here, then they can potentially consider other ways to deal with this. He can still be somewhat of a finisher. He can be also using his crowd control skills to be the guy to maybe protect Sanji and Carl, because you can't expect Sanford and JP to do that anymore, because if not, then they'll have all the other members of Aurora Gaming just going at them all at once.
My lord. Aurora taking control. Oheb, oh my god!
Walks right into it. Tienzi does use the Phantom Steed. That might have been a little bit too early. Lord is out. Aurora Gaming forced to delay even more.
It already made it out the ult from Oheb as well, though, so it's fine right now, right? Tienzi, at this point of the game, Phantom Steed is going to be up by quite a bit. It's like pretty low cooldown compared to when it was very easy to bait it out in the mid game, in the early game. What did you spot out? Did you spot something out, Trex?
Yeah, Siggy Boom's health bar is all shield.
Oh, yeah. Half. And then the Blood Wings.
Like that. Just walks around like that regularly.
This guy, bro.
Siggy Boom woke up like this.
Yeah. That's what all of them say. Winter Crown, he sold out the boots, so now it's like, even if you target him, you can't. Oh my god, they're gonna try it, aren't they? Mounted Chakra revealing them.
Oh, wait.
I honestly feel like Siggy Boom could have just taken it like a good boy and been like, yeah, no, you're not gonna kill me. Because now he used the flicker. Do you think he was that vulnerable? Do you think he needed to flicker that Mounted Chakra?
No.
I think he just got a little nervous.
Yeah, because you see so many people chasing after you at that point, and there's a Lord, so you at least want to make sure you're alive by then, because you never know what time it's going to spawn when Liquid decides to take it for themselves. But now there's really good positioning on the map from Aurora Gaming, and I'm looking particularly at Rosa.
This is a crazy position to hold as a Farsa, and he used the wings by wings to get there, dude. So it's like, it's all in or nothing. Siggy Boom holding this angle again. That's going to be a turret for free, it seems. No. Yeah, Siggy Boom rotates.
Aurora Gaming is macroing with no towers right now. Can we just talk about that? Because they're winning top lane with no inhibitors.
You know why, Trex? This is the reality of having one marksman in your composition and then full fighters, right? Your sieging isn't really that good. It's not good at all. That's why, again, for Team Liquid, staying there when they had the Lord was all right. But after the Lord died, staying there was kind of like a death sentence. They were waiting for a moment for Aurora Gaming to actually get, you know, a big pick with Pagu, a big set, or maybe even pokes from Rosa to ultimately shoo them away. But it ended up being everything. So they had to really step back. And now Team Liquid can't even do what they've been doing all the way from the start, like going for the blitzes, because it's an evolved Lord. You can't blitz that without a Lunox here, without a carry. It's Carl and Sanji on Yi and Shin, and don't have enough damage to really tank or blitz an evolved Lord.
Though.
Huh?
Oh, they're setting up so much fight.
Shocker! Plus the shifting clouds, Tlph trying to make the play, but in comes Rosa once again with a feather airstrike, and Siggy Boom is still standing. And Immortality does pop Sanji.
Oh my god.
But is unable to catch enough. Sanford locks in the backside, but he's unable to catch just yet. Lunar pops the winner crown. Carl Teasy gonna get the final hit, but wait, no, Lunar does finally drop.
Now it's gonna be Pagu very low. Rosa in the back line gonna be handled by Sanford.
Pagu now has to watch his friends fall. Siggy Boom there as well with the falling star, trying to lock on to Sanji, but it's just not enough. At this point, the full team wipeout will happen, and Team will finally take the dub. Carl Teasy with the savage.
Ice cold winner crown from Team Liquid.
We thought they weren't prepared to fight back, but Aurora Gaming found themselves surrounded by the cavalry. Liquid took on that fight, even though we thought they were just trying to set up before the objective. But they were equipped. They unleashed the beast from Sanford, the entries from JP and Carl Teasy managing the jumps, the dives from Siggy Boom. Everything eventually worked out so well for them.
It worked out in the end, but man, we gotta say, that was a very messy game. I don't know if Team Liquid are actually proud of that performance against Aurora Gaming, but a win is a win. They'll be going through this, and Aurora Gaming, despite that, despite the fact that they were able to prolong the game so well, they still look frustrated as hell. They still look like, so was it a mistake? Now that's the big question I gotta throw back at the panel.
I mean, at this point, the world may never know. What I do know is it's 1-1. Carl Teasy just got his second savage in M Series history. But I will agree with how chaotic it was. It was even hard to notice what was happening before our eyes.
Yeah, I think a lot of the chaos though came from the miscalculations of Liquid, especially Oheb, which I think was a huge question mark for us throughout the entirety of this game, and I would want to see that same thing happen in the next few games.
Yeah, here as well, man. They went all in again, but Siggy Boom, he had to go in. I think the mistake wasn't really in this position. I think the mistake was the initial fight, right? Like, why and how did that fight actually start? It was TL holding that angle, but they didn't need to push in all the way there to try to get pressure. A lot of questions, again, going to be sent to our panel here. So, Tlph, Leo, Gideon, what do you have for us?